Happy Arvo. How you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining me today. So, okay. I saw this headline when I woke up today, and I was instantly kind of shocked and very intrigued. I was very happy to see that apparently nobody died. But unfortunately, some number of people were injured. I've seen dozens. I've seen reports of 20. Right here, I can see a report of, let's see. This says injuring one person critically, and then this one says injuring 16. So I really have no idea. And then also 100 bullets fired, and then I see reports of 50 bullets fired. So the numbers are all over the place, but apparently some psycho idiot shot a bunch of bullets at a busy Sydney street over the weekend. Killed nobody, thank God, but did injure some number of people, which I never want to downplay that because you never know. I mean, it could be a lifelong impact to getting injured, like a bullet wound, I mean, for all we know, they could be paralyzed. Just something awful could have happened. I hope not. But nobody died. With that said, of course, that's shocking to see that coming out of America anytime, or not America, Australia. Coming out of America would honestly not be particularly shocking. But it's because it's Australia that it is quite shocking. So I definitely need to look more into that. I found this short video by news.com.au about this story, so I'm going to react to that. Obviously, you guys have way stricter gun laws than we do here in America, so I'm always curious when I see something like this, like what kind of gun did he use? I mean, 100 shots or 50 shots, either way, that's a lot of ammunition. But also, it didn't kill anybody, so maybe it was small caliber ammunition. But then also, I saw other headlines about this. Apparently in West Australia, police are going around seizing guns from sovereign citizens. Obviously, this comes on the heels of the Desi Freedman thing, which that dude is still on the loose, right? There is still a massive manhunt looking for this man, Desi Freedman. And so now, I mean, this headline equally quite as striking to me as an American, because it's something that if you read this happening here in America, it would be like, whoa, that's really scary. Because these type of people, these sovereign citizens, I mean, it's exactly what was happening to Desi Freedman, right? They were trying to take his guns. And yeah, that's when these people will threaten you with their guns. So trying to take the guns of sovereign citizens is extremely dangerous. In fact, this wasn't really a sovereign citizen group. This was a cult, but they had, similar kind of overlapping ideology. Famously here in America, the Waco siege. And yeah, this came when the feds attempted to remove the firearms from this facility. It turned into total chaos. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. I think I mentioned it before. Of course, that was on like a compound. This is a bunch of individual raids. Still very dangerous. So I'm very curious to know what's going on with that. And also, honestly, it's interesting. As an American, once and again, I mean, I'm so used to gun ownership being a right that the police aren't allowed to just seize your guns because you're a sovereign citizen, So I'm curious to know the rationale. Is there like a legal rationale for seizing their guns? Or do they even need that? Because it's not a right to own a gun in Australia. So maybe they don't need any reason beyond just, hey, we don't like you having a gun, so we're going to take it. Which I think, can't argue with that. So both these are just fascinating to me. I usually don't react to two different things in one video, but they're both dealing with guns. I don't know what I'm going to title this. Anyway, let's do it. Oh, wow, this is actual footage, body cam footage of this. Whoa.
A terrifying night in Sydney's inner west.
Okay, those were being fired in pretty quick succession, so that tells you something about the gun.
With up to 100 shots fired during a shocking and almost unprecedented shooting spree at Croydon Park. Police say a 60-year-old man opened fire indiscriminately from inside a unit above a business on Georges River Road.
Oh my God. This is actually reminiscent of here in America, there was a shooting. Maybe you guys, this is one of the biggest ever in U.S. history. The Las Vegas shooting, where the man, Stephen Paddock, fired from hotel room down to a crowd at a concert, and he killed 50 people or more or something, about 50. That's what this is reminiscent of to me.
targeting passing
Luckily, this man was nowhere near as lethal, thank God.
vehicles, including police cars. Acting Superintendent Stephen Parry said the gunman appeared to be shooting from a window with between 50 and 100 rounds discharged before officers moved in.
A specialist plan was put together by the Tactical Operations Unit. They used a number of specific tactical means. They executed that plan successfully and arrested the male person that had descended inside the premises.
Wow. Wow, that's really interesting. I mean, that aspect, as an American, that's also interesting to me because the chances of this man coming out alive here in America, very low. Very low. Unless he absolutely just surrendered, put his hands up, and walked out. I mean, even if he walked out, he might still get shot. He would have to just go like this and not move an inch after doing that. I mean, if he didn't just get shot through the window. Obviously, American police can have an issue of being, they're not great at de-escalating situations. This one would be difficult to de-escalate, obviously, but apparently they managed to arrest the man alive, which is ideal, because now you can get to the bottom of what he was doing.
Secured him and secured the firearm. There was no ongoing danger to any persons in the area. The person's in custody. The firearm has been secured.
Streets were locked down
It's pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie.
as heavily armed tactical police, Polair, and the dog unit swarmed the area. Residents were told to stay indoors as the major police operation unfolded. At least one man in his 50s was shot and taken to hospital in a serious condition after surgery. 16 others were treated by paramedics for minor injuries.
Oh, so only one person was hit by a bullet.
Acting Assistant
The others were just, I don't know what happened to the other people, but they were just minorly injured.
Commissioner Trent King described the incident as horrific and almost unprecedented in Sydney, confirming that a high-caliber rifle was used.
High caliber, okay. And it was obviously a semi-automatic. Wasn't some bolt action. You know, I've reacted to the gun restriction laws in Australia, but to be honest, I'm still like a little bit confused, you know. It can still be a little bit confusing. Like, how did this guy get that gun? I know you guys have a lot more of an extensive process for obtaining a gun. I guess every once in a while some nut might be able to get through the process, and, you know, maybe then down the line they become nuts, which is unfortunate.
Police have seized several firearms from the scene. The gunman was arrested after midnight and taken to hospital under police guard, following injuries sustained during his arrest. No officers were hurt, but multiple vehicles,
So he was injured.
including a police car, were damaged by gunfire. A major crime scene remains in place as detectives investigate how the man obtained his weapons and ammunition. Road closures are...
I can't believe they got him alive. That's that's really impressive. Because here in America, if you shoot at a police car, they might just blow up the whole building.
expected to continue, and investigations into the motive behind this shocking...
Slight exaggeration, but I mean, I'm actually thinking of a case where a guy in Texas shot police, on the streets. I mean, he was running around the streets shooting police, and he killed police. And he ran into a building, I think, in a staircase or something. Anyway, they sent in a robot with an explosive and blew him up.
Sydney shooting are now underway.
Wow. What comments do we got here? Why is it called a shooting and not as a terrorist? Well, I mean, for him to be a terrorist, he would have to have a political motivation. And to be doing it, for the purposes of terrorizing people into some kind of political, for political motivation. Anyway, Shocking event, not what we expected in Australia. It always is shocking when something like that happens in Australia. The government has turned... Oh, my God. All right, we're moving on. We're definitely not going down that road. This one's by ABC News. Check them out. Link down below, guys. Small and up-and-coming channel. This is the one about the raids going on. Equally as fascinating to me. Let's see. I mean, I know I could have waited for both of these for this week in Australia, but it's Monday, guys. I'm not waiting 5 days. I'm way too intrigued by these stories.
Not a fit and proper person to be in possession of a firearm.
Seizing firearms and cancelling gun licenses.
It's that simple. You're not a fit person. Now, how do they know? Like, how do they know this person's ideology? I guess they're looking at, like, your Facebook posts or your social media activity.
You are not a fit and proper person to be in possession of a firearm.
Seizing firearms and cancelling gun licenses.
The firearms will be coming with us today, so the compound bow.
So will the compound bow. That's an interesting detail. The compound bow.
WA police are cracking down on people.
Huh. They can take your compound bow. I'm not even sure. It's just interesting. Like, I wonder here in America. I mean, here in America, we do have some laws. Like, they're called red flag laws, where if somebody has made threats, especially against a school or, you know, anything like that, or even against themselves, you can call them in, and under the red flag law, their guns will be taken away preemptively. You know, and that skips a lot of the normal due process for the hope that it prevents a tragedy occurring, you know, before the process could be fully carried out. But anyway, so yeah, we have these red flag laws. You can take away someone's gun, but could you take away their compound bow? I'm really not sure. Really not sure.
People who identify as sovereign citizens. They don't believe in the legitimacy of government and its laws.
How on earth?
And of course, a compound bow can be fully lethal as a gun.
Can the state...
Essentially. I mean, it absolutely can be, of course.
How on earth can the state of Western Australia entrust those people with the responsibilities for being a lawful gun owner?
Last week, police searched 70
That is an interesting question, right?
properties throughout the state. They seized 135
And this movement, this sovereign citizen movement, is also very big here in America.
firearms and cancelled or suspended 44 gun licenses. Sending
Interesting to see all the different guns.
a clear message that
A lot of handguns.
no one is above the law.
No one's above the law. I'm a little confused what it means, above the law. Did they do something that was breaking the law?
Suspended 44 gun licenses.
Or, I mean, I guess being a sovereign citizen, you kind of believe, it's not that you believe you're above the law. I guess you kind of do. You kind of believe that the law just doesn't apply to you. That, like, you didn't opt into this system, so you're not, nope. Just nope. I refuse. I'm not part of your Australia, government or American government. It's an interesting thing.
Licenses, sending a clear message that no one is above the law.
If you have made it very clear that you do not abide by the laws of Western Australia set by the Parliament, then there is no way that you can be a fit and proper person to hold a firearm in Western Australia.
I mean, maybe I'm being a bit semantic here, right? But I feel like there's a slight distinguishment between saying, hey, I don't believe I should be subject to these laws, or I'm not, between someone who says that and believes that and someone who actually has broken a law. That's a slight distinction, right? I mean, there's a high chance that some of them were breaking the law, right? I mean, if you have those viewpoints, then there's a high chance you're also in some way breaking the law, whether it's evading taxes or not registering your cars or your guns. There's a high chance Maybe that's what we're talking about.
Australia.
The operation was sparked by the fatal shooting of 2 police officers in the Victorian town of Paulpunka in August. The alleged shooter, a self-identified sovereign citizen.
We have seen some very tragic and serious incidents in other states. We want to keep Western Australians safe. We want to keep our police officers safe.
Police have identified around 1,000 sovereign citizens in WA.
Not every sovereign citizen is a risk, but some are. And that is a risk we cannot take.
Gun owners who've had their licences suspended will be subjected to a fitness to hold test. Lily Cristanto, ABC News.
Okay, that's an interesting point he's making. You know, they've identified over 1,000, but not nearly all of them are arrested. Most are fine. But some they've identified for whatever reason. Maybe they're making threats online or something. Or some. I mean, I'm obviously speculating. It's just interesting to me.
Some are, and that is a risk we can.
And I feel like sometimes I play devil's advocate when I'm talking. That's just because that's the thought process that goes through my head, just so you know, if you're ever wondering. Like, hey, why did he say that? Sometimes I'm just thinking everything through, playing devil's advocate even with myself, like back and forth, like, oh, okay.
Cannot take.
Gun owners who've had their licences suspended will be subjected to a fitness to hold test. Lily Cristanto, ABC News.
Wow.
There's been a significant amount.
Roblox predator realizes he's been caught. Roblox, yikes, man. Anyway, that one was here in America. Wow. Those were fascinating stories to me, guys. Crazy shit going on. Well, I hope mainly that man in his 50s who's critically injured, has a full recovery. Because this could have been so much worse than it was. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.